February 20th, if you'd like to join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you and welcome. Glad to see you here tonight. We need to start with a roll call. Ms. Harris, will you help us with that?
Sure. Everyone is present and we do have a quorum.
Excellent. Thank you. We have an agenda prepared before us. Is there any changes to that agenda we need to consider? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve it as it's before us.
I'll make that motion, Your Honor.
Mr. Willing with a motion. Is there a second? Mr. Sellers seconding. Any discussion? There's no discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Are there any opposed? We have an agenda. We have the City Council minutes for February 6th. Questions or concerns regarding those minutes?
I'd like to attach a copy of my statement to accurately reflect my comments to the record.
Okay.
And you can include that the request, or the correction is at my request, if you'd like.
Can I make a comment, Ms. Hageman?
Please.
Keep in mind that minutes are not a transcript of the meeting.
I understand.
And so when I address something that's been said, it's not a lengthy,
I understand.
just to the point what was discussed.
I understand.
So I'm not going to attach your whole comment to the published minutes.
It's on the video, so I just felt it would help with the transcript for more accuracy.
Thank you. We will acknowledge those as they've been prepared, and we will go on to the approval of the bills. We have a warrant register with today's date on it.
Make a motion, we pay the bills.
Mr. Willing with a motion.
I'll second it, Your Honor.
Mr. Perk seconding. Any discussion? There's no discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Are there any opposed? That takes care of the bills. We have a revenue and expenditure report for December 2023. Questions regarding that report? Is there a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion, Your Honor.
Mr. Perks. Mr. Sellers seconding. Any discussion?
How many more street projects we got coming up?
What did that say? All of them? We've always got a couple.
I was just noticing we were at like 83% of our budget for streets.
Yeah. Yeah. Any further discussion? If there's nothing further, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Are there any opposed? That takes care of that report. Thank you. Council comments. Mr. Lynch, what do you have for us tonight?
Nothing tonight, Mayor.
Okay. Lynn.
I would like to send my condolences out to the Mills family.
Yes.
Paul Mills was a prominent part of our community. So, you know, in my younger day, I spent some time at the legal tender, so we'll say that. But
At the restaurant?
yeah, at the restaurant. No, just wanted to say condolences to the family. Paul was a prominent part of our community, and he will be missed.
Well said. Mr. Perkins.
I'd just like to echo what Mr. Lind was saying. I knew Paul. He's a great guy.
Absolutely. Thank you. Mr. Welling.
And you didn't want to make him mad.
No. No, I don't think so.
I don't have anything. I don't have my computer, so I'm not texting. It's just my phone.
Sure.
Clear.
Sure.
Somebody thinks I'm
I'll watch.
playing games or something. Other than that, I don't have. Thanks to the street crews for getting on top of that snow today. Holy cow. The 1 to 3 inches the weatherman predicted was a little bit off
A
again.
little bit. Missed it by 10 or so.
That's all.
Excellent. Mr. Sellers.
I just want to echo about Paul Mills. I enjoyed the time I got to visit with him at times, and I've been in contact with his son a little bit. The family's working through it, and his wife, we know she's had some health issues too, but she's doing okay. And so they can use probably some encouragement and some support.
Thank you. Ms. Hageman.
Just snow removal, guys. Bang up job. That was a lot. It was heavy. It was a lot deep, and it was fast, and that was a great job. And just a mention to all our military service men and women. Times are getting kind of scary out there, and I appreciate your service and protection of our country and all the extra work you're doing right now, getting geared up for whatever it is our country needs. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll certainly echo the sentiments toward the Mills family. And as you might recognize, Mr. Robinson from the Public Works Department is not with us here tonight. I've excused him. They've had a long, busy day, and they're had some repairs to try to take care of tonight before next storm. So I've excused him tonight. So he's not with us. Other than that, I will move on. We do have a couple of appointments. I've got 3 names here. I'm assuming we can address them together, or unless someone has some feelings otherwise. I'd like to bring forth the names of Lisa Sanborn to serve a 5-year term on the Urban Renewal Board, term to end January 2029. And then on the Lodging Tax Board, I would like to reappoint Mr. Perks here to my right for a 3-year term to end January 2027, as well as Brendy Weston to replace John Davis on that board, also for a 3-year term to end January 2027. If someone would like to make a motion to that effect.
I'll make that motion.
Mr. Lynch.
Second.
Mr. Welling seconding. Any discussion? There's no discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Appreciate all those names and their service. We do have 2 consent agenda items, both limited malt beverage permits. I think these are activities that have taken place in the community beforehand. Is there any questions or concerns, comments before we move on with our consent agenda? I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion, Your Honor.
Mr. Perks, Mr. Sellers seconding. Any discussion? There's no discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Are there any opposed? That's takes care of our consent agenda. We have no unfinished business, so we'll go there to new business, and we'll start there with Resolution 2407. Mr. Harris, will read that title for us, please.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. Resolution 24-07, a resolution of the governing body of the city of Evanston, Wyoming, authorizing the submission of an application by the city of Evanston for an AARP Community Challenge Grant from the AARP Community Challenge Grant Program to obtain funds for a more dynamic depot square and rail yards through placement of concrete and steel ping pong, tennis table, foosball table, and a sycamore chess table in the city's depot square and rail yard areas.
Mr. O'Neill, what are we doing here?
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, Rocco O'Neill, City of Evanston Community Development Department. I'm stepping in for Mika today. She's out on vacation. She has deserved it, so hope she's having fun. and the hard work of her Downtown Evanston committee. They've put together this grant request and are respectfully asking the city to match the $12,500 ask with $1,500 to cover the cost of shipping.
I'm trying to find a picture of this. Oh, this is the, when it said the Sycamore chess table. I was,
Do young kids even know what a foosball table is?
I know what my wife would kick your butt at foosball.
No, I mean the young ones.
Oh, no.
You're middle-aged now, dude.
I'm like, yeah, I'd be tough. Take the table, the young guy.
I guess when you said, when I read Sycamore chess table, I was thinking some kind of heavy wood. Sycamore tree.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, please.
I'm the one to put that in there like that. Ms. Madrid gave me the information.
Oh.
And in the information you have, I think there's a photograph in the council packet. There was also another photograph that, and it, in the proposed statement regarding the costs they assembled for the grant, it referred to it as a Sycamore chess table.
Okay.
So that's why it's called that.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
You bet, thank you.
So have we received this grant, or we're just applying for this grant?
Just applying for it.
You know, I know down at the Depot Square, we do have some, there's a basketball hoop and different things. I think, you know, seems to me this is kind of a fun thing to have. They're heavy, so it's not like they're going to walk away
Hopefully not.
too far. I guess if somebody can pack it away, then I guess they're going to get a snazzy foosball table that weighs it. But I think it's great. I think it's great. Fun things to do in the community. Is there a introduction on this resolution?
Do this with the motion.
Mr. Sellers with a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
I heard Mr. Willing over here first, if that's okay.
I got his good ear.
Any discussion? What is the time frame? Do we know when we might hear if we're successful in getting this grant?
The application deadline is March 6th, and they'll be notified in May.
In May? Okay.
We're hoping to put these in the rail yard in the inside. Just, you got a certain spot you want to put them already, or are they
You know,
wherever?
I'm not sure exactly the placement. I'm sure our downtown committee will come up with some spots and work with the brewery on where they'd like to see it too. I know our friends at Shades have some ideas for outdoor games, and so I think it'll be a collaborative effort there.
Maybe I read that wrong. I was thinking this would go down by the depot, but maybe I need to read that again. And it doesn't, either way.
So,
Mr. Mayor?
I'm sorry?
I'm sorry. One of them does. There are three. And my understanding, again, from Ms. Madrid was two are going to go in the rail yards, whether it's, and I believe it was outdoor. But
Yeah, I think you're right. I read that Depot Square and I had them pictured all of them down there, but okay. I think it's great. Any further discussion? If there is none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Are there any opposed? That is approved. Thanks, Rocco. Comments from departments. Rocco, while you're walking down there, do you have anything more for us tonight? Okay, thanks. Mr. Newsom, I see you right here in front. Anything from you in your department tonight?
Nothing real significant. I guess I haven't quite figured out what normal is yet. It seems like we're getting a fair amount of building permits and general building questions coming in for as we prepare for the summer season. So that's a good.
Nice. Okay. Are you getting settled in?
Yeah. Information overload, but it's good.
I'm sure. Well, thank you. I appreciate what you're doing. Thank you. Ms. Larson? See you back there. Okay.
Damon's been great to work with as far as the we just put out, so appreciate it.
Nice. Let's see, Mr. Pearson. Ms. Lim? Ms. Harris?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Harris?
thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor, attorneys are called upon to advocate for counsel and advise our clients. As the Evanston City Attorney, by law, this responsibility includes giving advice to the mayor and any member of the City Council on legal questions relating to the business of the city, to do all legal work relating to the city's business, and to perform such other duties as may be required by the mayor or City Council or by law. The rules of professional conduct for attorneys at law detail an attorney's ethical obligations regarding the client-lawyer relationship, including those situations where the client is a governmental entity and acting as an advisor and advocate for such representation. The rules recognize that in a matter involving the conduct of government officials, a government lawyer may have authority under applicable law to question the conduct of an official more extensively than that of a lawyer for a private organization or under similar circumstances. A duty I am obligated by law to perform is providing advice to the mayor and council. That advice includes forming and rendering legal opinions regarding the city's business and rendering recommendations based on those opinions. Another duty concerns confidential and privileged information. Communications between a council member and attorney relating to public business and advice to a council member from an attorney is privileged according to statute and protected from disclosure by an attorney under ethical rules. If advice is given to the governing body, only the governing body can authorize the disclosure of such information. Ethical issues involving conflicts of interest are not exempt from an attorney's duty to render advice. Rules adopted by this body specifically encourage council members to, quote, disclose and possibly recuse themselves on matters which may have the perception of a conflict where appropriate, end quote. 2 weeks ago, 2 members of this body disclosed confidential attorney-client communication and advice without the consent of this body. Further, I was the subject of a vicious personal attack regarding my professional ethics, professional integrity, and competency in an effort to counsel and prevent me from performing my legal duties. Those attacks failed to conform with the civility rules adopted by this body, specifically Rules 9, 10, 13, and 15. These attacks came without any prior discussion or engagement regarding the advice given or the reasons for it. Rather, in order to advance a particular agenda, a narrative was pursued that I was rendering an opinion in an attempt to bully or intimidate a member of this body from not voting on an issue, or that I was going to remove a council member from this body. First, let me say there were only 7 individuals to whom the confidential and privileged information was disclosed to, the elected officials of this body. The council did not act to waive the privilege of the communication, yet comments from members of this body have disclosed this information to the 12,000 residents of our community and possibly more. Second, if my rendering of legal advice were an attempt to intimidate or bully a member into not voting, I would have to question why I did not provide the information to the public and media first. Providing a confidential and privileged communication and recommendation to 7 members of the council does not appear to be an effective means of intimidating or bullying anyone. It is also the proper way to inquire into these issues, a path I have followed with this council before. Finally, the basis for my opinion and advice was provided by the council member directly to me on February 1, 2024, during a conversation that lasted almost an hour and a half. The purpose of my conversation was made absolutely clear to the council member at its start. At no time was it stated or implied that I was intimidating or bullying anyone. In fact, this thought was not expressed until 5 days later. I expect in the course of providing advice to this council that disagreements can and do occur with respect to that advice. I also understand that the advice can be rejected by the council. Good governance and leadership demand that hearty discussion and debate occur where differences exist. What occurred during the council meeting of February 6, 2024 went well beyond the reason of good governance and leadership. I will not be intimidated, bullied, or preventing from performing my legal duties by attribution of improper motive, quote, without a factual basis, end quote, and in a, quote, public meeting or forum, end quote, in violation of the very rules adopted by this body. To take license with the saying, if you don't like the message, stop the messenger. I will not abdicate performing the duties required of me by law just because someone does not like the message delivered and wants it ignored. To paraphrase Brian Glather, that's what bullies do. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Public participation. Is there anyone here from the public that would like to address the council for any reason tonight? Please, and then I'll come back to you. Please go ahead. If you'll give us a name, sir.
Eric Passanelli. I just wanted to address the council, say thank you for approving our malt beverage permit tonight. I'm here on behalf of the Celtic Festival. We really enjoyed your support in years past and look forward to enjoying it for many more years. So, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that.
Question for you.
Yes.
You're still looking for volunteers to help with this?
Always.
And where do they volunteer at?
They can go to our website. There's a link on our website. If anybody has some interest, they can contact me directly as well.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure you got that plug in that you need
I
volunteers.
appreciate that.
So, good job. It's great. It's great. Brings a lot of people to town.
We try.
So, thank you, Eric.
Thank you.
Please, come on up.
My name is Susan Jakowski. I'm a retired social worker from the state hospital. I am totally against the homeless shelter. We do a 10-bed homeless shelter, and in freezing weather, what are we going to do? Say we have 15 people. We do not have a soup kitchen or a day program for them during the day. What are they going to do? Crime, drugs will go up. A lot of the homeless are mentally ill. They are off their meds. They have no way of getting their meds. What are we going to do for these medications? We get somebody who has a diagnosis of schizophrenia and they become very violent. What are you going to do? The police, this will increase their jobs extremely a lot. During the day, we don't have nothing for them. They'll be hanging around downtown our businesses. Like I said, most of them are mentally ill. And as a social worker at the state hospital, guess where I discharge most of the people? To the homeless shelter. Casper, Cheyenne, Salt Lake. Salt Lake will be shipping their people here. And I know they already are doing it, but there will be more. So we need to really think about this decision for our little community and for how it will affect it. That's all I got to say.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm glad you'd come up and speak to us. Thank you. Anyone else wanting to address the council?
As a member of SOAR Optimists, I would like to invite you all to the production of the Vagina Monologues Saturday night. VIP party is at 5:30. For $30, you get refreshments and drinks and get the chance to bid on the wonderful purses. They fill with all kinds of good stuff. And then at 7, the production starts for $15 or $30 people. Anyway, I hope you'll all come and support SOAR Optimists because the money that's raised from that event goes to scholarships for young girls and women. And it's a good stuff.
Yes. Thank you.
Where's it at?
It's at the Strand.
You mean at the Strand?
It's held at the Strand.
There's
Saturday night.
just one thing to recognize. Right now, the service organizations in our community basically are SOAR Optimists and Rotary, and that's basically it. So there, if you want to support service organizations, those are your two choices.
Anyone else?
That'd be good. Send it back.
I'm not sure who that, oh, maybe who that. Okay, if not, we'll adjourn. Thank you.